"By the power vested in me by God and the state of Washington," the minister said, beaming, "I now pronounce you husband and wife." As my teammate, Kramer, kissed his bride, Elisa, everyone in the pews cheered, and I was pretty sure we startled all the guests who weren't hockey players. What could I say? We were a loud bunch, and weddings were no exception. The ceremony wrapped up, and the bride and groom made their way up the aisle, followed by the wedding party. Guests began to follow, filing out from the rows of chairs, heading toward the receiving line and the reception. On the way, people who knew each other said hello and chatted happily. Typical wedding. It was a nice one, too. Kramer and Elisa had rented out a country club where a lot of us played golf, and the weather had even cooperated. The day was so perfect, in fact, that the groom had made a comment before the ceremony about delaying the wedding to play around. Elisa had been out of earshot, and anyway she would have laughed because that was her sense of humor. The mother of the bride? Oh boy. By the time that debacle had quieted down, we were all joking about seeing if anyone had their pads or helmets in their cars so Kramer could protect himself. Couldn't hurt to be suited up like a goalie if his new mother-in-law lost her shit again. That had earned all of us dirty looks from Elisa's mom, and screw Kramer, we were keeping our gear for ourselves. Mother-in-law drama aside, the wedding was nice. The bride was beautiful, Kramer was happier than I'd ever seen him, and he absolutely would be catching hell later for crying during the ceremony. Like I said, hockey players. We'd ribbed every tearful groom before him, and we'd do it to everyone after. Those were the rules. While the bride and groom left for photos, the food was served along with drinks. People mingled and caught up while country club staff arranged the tables and chairs for dinner. I was with some of my teammates, but didn't really hear the conversation. As I rolled a sip of beer around in my mouth, I moved my gaze around the room from one guest to the next. Or rather, from one couple to the next. 4 couples in particular. The Seattle Breakers had 4 out gay players. Mourner was married with kids, and the others had been single when they or I had signed with Seattle, but one by one they'd met boyfriends. Ethan and Luca were engaged, Dane and Cole were living together, even Matt, Smitty, to everyone else, had surprised the hell out of everyone by settling down with Andre. And I didn't know what I felt about that. Just that I definitely had some feelings, and none of them were particularly good or familiar. It was like every time one of my gay teammates had paired off with someone, especially as they'd taken steps to make it permanent, and moving in together, getting engaged, it had chipped away at something in me. At my resistance to myself.